How's it going, guys? I haven't uploaded anything in a really long time. Well, really long time being like a week. But if you can guess where I've been, and it has anything to do with breeding up and evening Pokemon by myself, / getting good parents together, and just getting material, then hey, that's a really oddly specific guess, and I kind of want to say you're on the money. But that's what I've been doing. I finally got 6 things EV'd and put together. I wouldn't really consider them a team, but it does technically fill out 6 slots in my party, and I decided, let's go on free battle and shenanigans. We'll get into them. So I have items for them and everything. It is a beautiful time to just jump on and then see what happens from there. So I saw that he had a Tyranitar. I was kind of hoping he'd lead off with it so I could end up going for a double power-up punch and hopefully end up knocking him out. But he leads off with Togekiss. And I know after being a Mega Kangaskhan, I will naturally outspeed him just by a pretty reasonable margin. I'm pretty sure I outspeed him anyways, just according to stock-based speeds. But I don't have any speed in me whatsoever. So I don't know if he has any speed at all himself. I'd imagine if he does, it's very minimal. But I want to get the Fake Out to make sure that I actually get the attack priority going on. Because when you Mega Evolve, the speed does change, but the attack order does not. The game already knows who's going to attack first according to what's been locked in. So, like, if somebody's going to Gyro Ball second, it will hurt more because they change your speed, but you're still going to go second because of the Gyro Ball, that kind of shit. So, speed changes, but attack order does not. So, right here, because he Mega'd, I believe he ends up being faster than me because he'll be faster than me next turn because his base speed changes to something above mine. But because this is the turn that he came in immediately, or if it was a speed tie, which is a really less likely thing as well, but you can see he gets off an Earthquake, and then on the next turn he gets off a Stone Edge as well. So the attack order on that was a little bit interesting. That's the first time I've actually seen that come into play, where he gets 2 hits off. Had I known, I would have double Sucker Punched. I just assumed T-Tar was going to be really slow anyways. But yeah, this Kangaskhan does not have 31 in speed. It was a quad that I settled for at the time. I have since gotten a better one. I'll probably re-EV this one, maybe give this one away to somebody. I don't know. But I'm just going to go ahead and go for Sucker Punch. It is +3, so I have nothing to fear. It flat out one-shots it, and then that's it. That's Mega Bomb doing stuff. It turns out I didn't really need anything special there. So let me see what else I have in my Versus Recorder. This was a guy, I might actually use Galvantula in this one. Hot damn. I also use Klefki. The reason I'm using Klefki a lot is because Aegislash is running rampant on free battle. And Klefki, while not the best answer to it, there are a couple of other Pokemon I can think of that you would be better off bringing for your team, such as Diggersby or things of that nature. Klefki doesn't do too terribly against it, so it turns out he's going to bring in his Garchomp. He doesn't like this matchup right here. I'm going to set up a Sticky Web. Now, in case you are new to this meta / new to moves in general, it is an entry hazard, and anytime somebody comes in on the Sticky Web, they get a speed cut. So Galvantula is actually not too bad. I haven't leveled this thing up enough for it to get Bug Buzz. I think it needs only like 10 more or so, but I figured, hey, we'll run Signal Beam for the time being. I know it's a little bit lower, but the chance for the confusion sometimes comes into play. It's pretty cool. So he Earthquakes me, doesn't even bring me down to my Sash. It is a neutral hit, but that's still not really something big to worry about. And then it turns out he hits himself on that one, so Galvantula lives to see another day, and then it turns out he's actually going to go ahead and switch out to his Aegislash. I did not really know whether or not I wanted to predict that. I decided not to because I figured the safest play he could have made was sacrificing his Garchomp. It's at a very low amount of HP. I know he's going to Shadow Sneak on this one. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave my Galvantula in his Death Fodder. It almost killed off another poke. It set up the Sticky Web. That's all I really needed it to do. If he had a potential Rapid Spinner, I definitely would have kept this thing safe. But a lot of people on free battles don't really have the room for that kind of shit, so I just set it up and then just do whatever I can with it. But Klefki, a little bastard in this generation, has a set very similar to Lightbird set in that it gets Sub, T-Wave, Swagger, and Foul Play. That is the set I have opted to run for the time being. If I want to switch it up to Spikes, and I just want to get rid of Swagger, that's another set in itself. I figured I'd mess around with this one on Wi-Fi for a little bit. I got a lot of people disconnecting on me because it is a really dick set. But hey, look at that! I guess he didn't know about Foul Play, because it just freaking one-shots the goddamn Aegislash. Piss off, he got messed up by a keychain. Anyways, looking excellent here. Chestnut's going to come in, and then he's got Chestnut, and he's also got, I believe, his Garchomp at a very low amount of HP as well. I decide I'm going to go for Swagger, because if he wants to go for... I honestly don't know what he would go for, but hopefully he hits himself, and we can just kind of work from this. Yeah, I'm not speeding any of this up at all, just because they're really short games anyway, and I haven't spoken to you guys in a while. If I record this stuff and then have to talk over it again, I'm going to have to head off to work, and no, I'd rather just talk over the recordings at a regular pace, and yeah, how we doing? We're doing excellent, I hope. Anyways, he bulks up, wears out of the Swagger on the first turn, which means he's now +3, +1. I'm not too concerned with this yet because I'm behind a sub. I do still have Mega Mom, and he does still have the lowered speed anyways. So if I need to, I can come in with a Fake Out and a return. I'm just relying on him to hit himself eventually. And if I can get off a couple of foul plays before I die, cool. Wonderful. The other thing I'm also noticing is that Galvantula wouldn't necessarily mind switching in on this thing because I do resist both of its stabs, but Galvantula is kind of frail. So had I kept it around, could have been a thing. But I'm pretty much okay with how the match is turning out so far. So I'm going to go for foul play. He is +5, but that was a crit. It's important to note that because he was part fighting type, it would have only done a pretty little amount. And on, I don't know, it would have been like a 3-hit KO regardless. So he gets a crit on my sub as well. Don't mind because it's a sub. I'm still faster than him thanks to the sticky web because Chestnut does look pretty bulky. I haven't researched the starter's bait speeds. Outside of... I actually haven't really looked into Chestnut at all. I know Greninja's faster than Alakazam, and that's all I've really had the need to know online. And I know Delphox is barely slower than Latios. It might be on the same speed tier as Infernape, I'm not 100%. It's still pretty good, though. So he brings in his Garchomp. Best thing I can do right here is I can Swagger, and then if it turns out that he knocks himself... Did I go for the foul play? I think I went for the foul play expecting to live this hit because I am bold and max defense. And would you look at that, breeding for the 31 in defense and actually having everything else going on. Let me live in Earthquake, a stab Earthquake from a Garchomp, and a Keychain just fucked this whole guy's team up. And that's how one of Klefki's sets works. It's really rude, but hey. I think this was that wasn't in-game stuff. That was a battle I had with my friend Andrew the other day. I want a match that doesn't have Klefki in it, but unfortunately I think I saved a lot of them that had Klefki. Now it has Klefki and Alakazam. Do these all have Klefki? I really hope not. So that was an in-game match I had with my buddy Alex. That was another one that was part of that one tournament thing. And then I think that was an online thing. I guess let's play the one back I had with Alex. Because the one I had with Alex is pretty good. And I think that'll be a good end to this video. This is all the battles I've really gotten into in like the past week or so. Not hyper competitive, but I get by with what I've done. So these are all in-game pokes. They do not all have their HM moves because I do have an HM slave that I kind of cycled out on the side and I just kind of leveled up various things on the side. So not a lot of these things are going to have HMs or anything of the sort. Right here, I, for whatever reason, feared him to be faster than me. So I figured, hey, I'll switch out. I don't think that Hawlucha is a very good nature at all. But I take a U-turn and then he goes into his Greninja right there. I'm going to go for a Calm Mind in hopes that I can live his Surf or his Dark Pulse or anything like that. I noticed that I am faster, and I believe I do have an Expert Belt on this guy, and I know from personal experience that I just need a little bit of damage, a little bit more damage, and then it turns out I didn't even know about Water Shuriken, which is a multi-hit priority move. I got completely rocked by that, and I didn't think he'd have it. Because every other Greninja I fought on Wi-Fi does not have Water Shuriken, but hey, in-game shit. So I used my Delphox pretty prematurely. That was a huge mistake on my behalf, but now I know that Water Shuriken is priority. So he goes into his Honedge very predictably. I decide to Mega right here and go for the double Fake Out because the Greninja is a little bit of a problem now that I've lost something faster than it. But yeah, let's show off my Mega, and then it turns out I can't really touch this thing at all. So I'm going to switch out. The only answer... I don't really have a lot of answers for this, just naturally. I can go into my Rotom and then go for a Discharge and hope I get a Paralysis, or go for the Shadow Ball. but this is really the only thing I have to take it on stock. So I'm going to go for a discharge, hope I get the para, and then I don't think I get it, and he's actually going to take me out with a Sacred Sword, or Aerial Ace is not going to do that much, I think. Well, it doesn't kill me. That's a huge plus. Although it is in-game stuff, I do have items. The tournament we had on Saturday, we decided you're not allowed to use Battle Mason items. Only stuff that can be found in-game. And, hey, there was one left over, so I figured I'd put it on Rotom. So, shit. That sucks. Lost it to that. And then I bring in this dude because I'm like, okay, I might actually be able to take a hit from full. I can maybe hit him with a Scald, that kind of thing. Dragalge is really cool. I have my shiny one on my EV team, but it's not fantastic because the Spec Attack IV isn't great. I just wish it was adaptability, but I don't think there's any way to get an adaptability one at this time. So I settled with a Poison Point one. That's fine. Go for a T-Bolt. That's nice. I don't think he really expected that, but it doesn't take him out because my in-game Dragalge had a really shitty Spec Attack IV as well. But now that he knows my typing, well, he knew my typing in the first place, but he's going to go for something that has a little bit more oomph to it. And I'm going to try to take him out with a Scald because I thought, hey, he might switch out. Turns out he lives on 1, and he could have taken me out on the next turn, but I get a burn on him. So get to take the rest of his HP out with a very, very, very fortunate burn. I was very pleased to see that. It was not necessary because I still had Kangaskhan, but hey, still pretty cool. Anyway, he had a Gallade for his in-game team. That shit is sick. I did not expect anybody to have that for their in-game team yet, but I have a solid switch into it in the form of my own Aegislash. Psycho Cut's not going to do that much at all, and on top of that, I do have a Rocky Helmet on this guy as well, I believe, although I don't think that's a contact move. So, yeah, figured I'd just mention it at least, but Vivillion's going to come in, and I can just set up a Sword Stance on the Switch. I'm not really that scared of this thing at all, even if it decides to Sleep Powder. Turns out he Stun Spores, fishing for the paralysis, that kind of thing, and I can just Iron Head and then Shadow Sneak as well. So my in-game dude had Iron Head, Shadow Sneak, Sword Stance, and King Shield ever since I learned that King Shield was a thing you could run on it. It doesn't have Cut just because I have an in-game Bidoof that has like Cut and like all the other HMs except for Fly. So got this thing, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. This thing is really terrifying. It turns out this was very valuable information. You can still stance change to defense form when you're paralyzed, but your move will actually not connect. So if you're paralyzed and you don't want to risk shifting into offense, it's good knowledge to have that your stance will still change even if you are paralyzed. So he goes for another Earthquake. I decide I'm going to go into my Hawlucha, and Hawlucha's going to fuck some shit up. So get to go for I believe a Hone Claws right here, because I knew that I could take a Stone Edge just fine. I was assuming I could, because I'm actually not weak to rocks anymore. Well, I'm neutral, because I'm fighting flying. But go for a +1 Acrobatics. There's no Flying Gem in this game from what I've heard so far. There's only normal, so the only way I could get an Unburn boost going on is with like a Retaliate and that kind of thing. This thing comes in. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this thing yet, but I decide I'll go for a couple of Acrobatics and just kind of see how this pans out. I can always fake out and Sucker Punch with Kangaskhan. Any prior damage I get on it is very much appreciated because that will be a stock Sucker Punch, and it's very, very easy to predict. A Kangaskhan Sucker Punches, and they only have 5 of them unless they've PP maxed or PP upped. But he's going to go for an Aerial Ace, just wipe out my Hawlucha, clean off the board, and yeah, that sucks. Get to go into my own Aegislash, and I believe I'm actually just going to go for a Shadow Sneak. I don't know why he didn't switch out, or even attempt to go for the King Shield. I feel like I could have taken out even if I was at -2, and even if he was in his defensive form. Crit absolutely did not matter. I have no explanation for what he wanted to do on that turn, but he has his Tyrantrum in next, which is still at full HP, and I'm just going to let this thing die. Because even if I go for a King Shield, Tyrantrum is a scary motherfucker. I am paralyzed. I don't have enough HP to deal with it. My Kangaskhan, however, is still at full HP. And then I, for whatever reason, assumed that I would be faster than this thing. Tyrantrum's speed actually isn't terrible. Versus Dragalge's base 44 and his defense not really being existent at all. Well, yeah, he just kind of falls over like a dead piece of algae, which I find pretty funny. But Kangaskhan is my key to victory here. I decide I am going to go for a power-up punch, if I am not mistaken, which will hit twice, get me a little tiny attack boost. Oh, no, wait, I went for the fake out first. That's fine. It is a free double hitting fake out, and it turns out it takes out around half of his HP. If his plan was to switch in and get the steadfast boost, he would have to be in, and he would have had to do an attack first in order to knock me, or in order to get the steadfast boost. So there's that, at least. Take him out with a double fake out sucker punch combo, and Mega Kangaskhan is, I believe, going to clean up here with some power up punches. So you get to do this, get one power up punch, and then get another one which does roughly the same amount. It does like maybe 90% of the last hit's damage just because of the attack boost in between the two hits. And he's going to hit me with a Dragon Claw, which, because I am actually somewhat bulky, I've got a little bit of HP investment in this lady, I get to go for another power-up punch and just immediately knock it out. And then that was like 3 games. That's what I've been up to lately in the past week. This and breeding, but I really doubt you guys care to see the breeding projects that I've been up to. So I figure I will just call it here. So I had a couple of videos. They're not the best things in the world, but I hope you guys enjoyed them anyway, and I did not abandon this channel or anything at all. I also did not abandon TCGO. I haven't uploaded that in a couple of weeks because I've been playing this, but I'm really going to try to get back to that tomorrow. At least make a new deck or something. I'll see what I can do with that. I've just been breeding hardcore in this game. I've probably got over... Oh, shit. Would you look at that? Over like 1,000... How crazy would that be if this shit was shiny? It's probably not going to be. I honestly don't know what this thing is. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, you can leave a like rating. Oh, it's a leftover scrub. Totally forgot about these dudes. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, you can leave a like rating. Comment and subscribe and do your thing. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.